Hello Year 3, so today we are going to find out about another fantastic woman who made history from this book. So this will be the last one from this book for this week, and today we are going to learn about somebody called Josephine Baker. Now you probably haven't heard of her for the same reason that you might not have heard of the other women. Again, this is a woman who fought hard to be remembered in history and faced challenging times. And this time it isn't just because she's a woman. Josephine Baker was alive at a time where you weren't just discriminated against because you were a woman, but you were also discriminated against because of the colour of your skin. And Josephine Baker had lots and lots of things to overcome, other people's prejudices being the main thing. So this is Josephine Baker. You might guess from what she's wearing and what she's doing, what she wanted to be. So, Josephine Baker was born in 1906 in St. Louis, Missouri in USA in America. Her family were very poor, and from a young age, Josephine had to go out and work to earn money. When Josephine was growing up, black people were treated very unfairly. They weren't allowed to go and do the same things or go to the same places that white people could, and that was called segregation. Now, segregation obviously does not happen anymore, thank goodness, but segregation is when black and white people were separated, and this was on the bus, this was in public places, and in a lot of places black people weren't even allowed to go actually, such as theatres. To distract herself from life's problems, even just for a few moments, Josephine would do three things. She would dance crazy new dances, like the turkey trot, the itch, and the mess around. So interesting dance names, they sound fun, don't they? Enjoy the thrill of laughter and applause and pull funny faces. She said, this is a quote from her, "I improvised, crazed by the music. Each time I leaped, I seemed to touch the sky." So dancing gave her a release from her difficult life. Her family were quite poor, as we said, and she had to go out to earn money. So going out dancing, having fun, really brightened her day. At just 14 years old, Josephine landed a job with a group of travelling musicians. Audiences loved her, and at 16 she was given a leading role in one of the first shows with an all-black cast to be shown on Broadway, and that's the famous theatre district in New York. Josephine was the talk of the town, but segregation, remember what that was? Unfortunately, in the past, black and white people had to be separated, which is just awful to think about now. So unfortunately, because of segregation, it meant that she would never be seen as equal to white performers. So Josephine could be the better dancer, the better performer, but unfortunately she was still not seen as actually being better, which is, terrible, isn't it? Josephine continued to wow audiences in the USA, and one day she heard that there was no segregation in France. So France had moved past segregation and was understanding that this was wrong and it was racist. So in 1925 she took a job in a theatre in Paris. Paris is the capital of France. So just like Josephine, Paris was dazzlingly different. Ooh la la. Parisian audiences watched mesmerised, and Josephine danced to Charleston, a popular dance at the time, like nobody had ever seen before. There was fascinating face pulling, magnifique, fast footwork, c'est magnifique, and extreme body bending, sacré bleu. Means my goodness. And there is her dancing. You might be able to see actually behind me, there's some French in these here, and they say la vie est belle, life is beautiful, and c'est la vie, that is life. So you might have been wondering what they are, and now you know. So Josephine was a star. She became so famous that hairstyling products were sold for women who wanted to copy her distinctive look. Paris was a place that Josephine could truly be herself. Dazzling, funny, and rather eccentric. Josephine owned a pet cheetah called Chiquita that became a part of her Parisian act. Surely the day will come when colour means nothing more than skin tone, when understanding breeds love and brotherhood. And that was a quote from Josephine. So she really hoped that one day people wouldn't go through the hardships that she had been through. So as well as becoming a very famous performer and doing very well at that, she also had many other achievements in her life. She did not just stop there. Josephine was so grateful to her adopted French home that during World War II, she put herself in danger by working as a spy for France. A successful dancer, a successful performer, and a successful spy. And then later in life, Josephine adopted 12 children from around the world. 12! And used her fame to make a stand against racism. When visiting America, she refused to perform in theatres that didn't allow black people to attend and campaigned for an end to segregation. So she used her fame for the powers of good, and she used them to make a stand and say what she felt was right. But she didn't just say these things, she acted upon them as well. So she had actions as well as words to back up what she felt. And she worked really hard to make sure that performers were felt, did feel equal and were treated equally. So Josephine Baker, thank you for how you changed the world. Now, we might not read any more from this, we'll have to see. So if you are interested, there's quite a lot of stories in here, and it's a lovely book to have. Hopefully now you know about some more of the women that change history. Okay, hope you enjoyed that. Bye, Year 3.